How much time do you really have left after 70? It's a quiet question, one that we begin to ask ourselves. The years, they slip by so gently, almost unnoticed at first. But with each passing day, that question grows louder. The weight of time, how it stretches and pulls, becomes undeniable. At 70, something inside us changes. The rush of life starts to slow, and we begin to measure each moment more carefully. I remember the day when I crossed that threshold. It was as if the fog had lifted, and I saw life with a new clarity. In that moment, I didn't feel fear, I felt awareness. A deep awareness of how fragile life truly is. Every breath, every day, became more precious than before. I realized then that the signs of how long we might live aren't just written in the books of science. They are etched in the quiet, personal experiences of our bodies, hearts, and minds. These signs are deeply personal, but they are also scientifically proven, giving us a glimpse of the future we can shape. Walking speed, a glimpse into your longevity. Do you ever think about how you walk? It seems so simple, doesn't it? Yet, it speaks volumes about your health. The speed at which you walk is a window to your spirit. It is not just about muscle or bone, it reflects your very will to continue. Your pace tells the story of your heart, your energy, your life. I remember two old neighbors, Joe and Frank. Joe walked with vigor, each step purposeful and strong. Every morning, he greeted the day with a steady stride. His legs were strong, and his body still full of life. Then there was Frank. Once, he too had walked like Joe, with energy, with speed. But time has a way of slowing us all down. His steps became slower, more labored. Each movement took more effort, more breath. One day, I watched as Joe walked ahead, unhurried, his pace never faltering. Beside me, Frank struggled to keep up. His breathing became heavier, his steps uncertain. "Are you okay, Frank?" I asked. He gave me a faint smile and replied, "It's just age, my friend." But in his eyes, I saw something else, a sadness. A quiet acceptance that time had caught up with him. It was not just his legs that slowed, his spirit too seemed to be slowing down. Joe, on the other hand, was still racing against time. His pace wasn't just a sign of health, it was a sign of life itself. He wasn't just walking, he was telling the world that he was still here. Still strong. Still full of hope. If you find yourself slowing down, do not be discouraged. Take a moment to reflect on your pace. Walk a little more each day. Even if just a few steps, take them with purpose. Your body listens to every step you take. And with each stride, you are nurturing your future. Grip strength, not just a handshake. Your grip, the strength of your hands, speaks of more than just your muscles. It reflects the vitality of your heart, your circulation, and your overall health. A firm handshake is not just a greeting, it's a symbol. A sign of your strength, your ability to hold on to life. When your hands are strong, it means that your body is still vibrant. But as time passes, that strength can fade. I think of Robert, a man who always prided himself on his firm handshake. At 78, his grip was strong, confident. He could carry groceries, twist open jars, and hold on to whatever life threw his way. But then, one day, he struggled to open a bottle. His grip, once so steady, had weakened. The change was so slow, he hardly noticed. But I did. And as his grip weakened, so too did his overall strength. Robert had always been strong, but his hands were no longer holding on with the same firmness. And with that change came a quiet vulnerability. One evening, Robert tried to open a jar at a gathering. He struggled, passing it to me with a half-hearted smile. "It's just age catching up with me," he said. But I saw it in his eyes, he knew it wasn't just age. It was something deeper, something that had started to affect his body. Then there was Walter. He too had noticed his grip slipping, but he had dismissed it. Just getting older, he said, unaware of the deeper issue. He didn't see the connection between his failing hands and the decline in his strength. If your grip is weakening, don't ignore it. Your hands, they are the reflection of your life. Take the time to strengthen them again. Try squeezing a tennis ball, or using hand grips. These small exercises can restore what time has taken away. Your hands hold so much more than objects. They hold your strength, your will, your life. Balance, the key to staying steady. Balance is not just standing on one leg. It is a measure of how your body moves through the world. When you lose your balance, you lose a little piece of yourself. It is a sign of your body's strength, its coordination, its health. The ability to balance well tells the story of your resilience. When your balance wavers, it speaks of a deeper shift. I think of Carol, who has always moved through life with grace. She practices yoga every day, and her balance is as strong as the roots of an ancient tree. Carol can stand on one leg without hesitation, her movements steady, confident. Then there is Nancy, who struggles to find her balance. She tries to stand on one leg, but her body wobbles. It's not just a physical struggle, it's a reminder that life's changes come quietly, almost unnoticed. I remember a time when balance became more than just about standing still. It was a measure of my own strength, my own will. I stumbled once, the ground rushing toward me. But I steadied myself, breath deep, and found my ground again. That moment stayed with me. Balance is not just about the body, it is about the mind and spirit. Without balance, life feels unsteady, uncertain. So, if you feel yourself losing your balance, my dear friend, do not be afraid. It is simply a call to action. A chance to rebuild, to restore what was once strong. Practice standing on one leg, even if just for a moment each day. The more you practice, the stronger you will become. Balance is not just a physical skill, it is peace, quiet strength. As you stand tall today, remember this. Each step, each movement, brings you closer to yourself. The journey ahead is not about perfection. It is about finding steadiness, finding peace, in every step you take. Sleep patterns, the foundation of health. Sleep is the quiet time when your body heals. It is not just about rest. It is a time for your body to repair itself, to replenish what has been used. When we sleep well, we live well, for we are giving ourselves the chance to heal. But those who struggle with sleep often struggle with their health. Poor sleep can weigh heavily on the mind and body, leading to many troubles. I think of Henry, who has always been a man of routine. He sleeps well, night after night. 7 hours of sleep, steady and peaceful, like the flow of a river. His energy remains constant, his mind sharp. Then there is Bill, who has never found peace in sleep. He tosses and turns, waking often, his mind racing with thoughts. Bill has struggled for years, and over time, I've seen how it has worn him down. There was a time when Bill tried to convince me that sleep wasn't important. He told me, "I'm fine," even as the bags under his eyes grew deeper. But the truth was, sleep was slipping away from him. His mind clouded over time, once clear thoughts now fading in the haze of exhaustion. Sleep is not just about resting, it is about healing, restoring. Without it, we fade a little more each day. If sleep escapes you, take a moment to reflect. Is it time to change something? Perhaps your routine needs adjusting. Turn off the screen, let the day's thoughts fade into the night. Stick to a schedule, and let the morning sun fill your soul with light. Good sleep is the foundation upon which all health rests. And it is never too late to change, to make room for rest. So, tonight, let your body find peace. Rest well, and awaken refreshed, for tomorrow holds many possibilities. Sleep well, and let your body heal, so you can rise again with strength and grace. Appetite and eating habits, fuel for the body. Food, my dear friend, is not just fuel. It is life itself. The way we eat as we grow older tells a story. A story of vitality, or of its quiet fading. I think of Margaret and Susan, both 74, yet their bodies tell two very different tales. Margaret enjoys every meal, savoring the taste of fresh, wholesome food. She looks forward to each bite, and her body remains strong, full of life. Susan, on the other hand, has noticed a change in herself. Her appetite, once hearty, has started to fade. She skips meals now, relying on what's quick and processed. She no longer takes the time to prepare a meal she can enjoy. I remember a lunch they shared not long ago. Margaret ate her colorful salad with enthusiasm, each bite filled with life. Susan, though, pushed her food around her plate, her appetite lost. Margaret laughed softly, "You can't live on crackers and tea forever, Susan." Susan smiled, but deep down, she knew Margaret was right. The joy of eating had faded for her, and it wasn't just the food. It was her body, quietly slipping into weakness. How easy it is to ignore these small changes, thinking they are nothing. But in truth, these small signs can speak volumes about what's to come. If you find your appetite waning, my dear, I urge you to take notice. Don't let your body slip into silence. Eat well. Eat what nourishes you. A healthy appetite is a gift. It is a sign that your body is still thriving, still asking for what it needs to live fully. Don't let the joy of eating fade away. Find it again, in the simple meals, in the nourishment of your spirit and your body. Remember, each meal you share with yourself is an act of self-love. Take the time, and your body will thank you. Managing stress, the silent health deteriorator. Stress, my friend, is like the wind. It can be gentle and soft, but if it lingers too long, it wears down everything in its path. I think of two old friends, John and Richard. Both 76 years old, yet how differently they face life. John, always calm, always steady. He breathes deeply, faces challenges with grace, and never lets the small worries take hold. Richard, on the other hand, is always in a state of worry. He frets over everything: the weather, his health, the smallest things. And I've seen how it wears him down, how it eats away at him, both inside and out. I recall one moment when Richard, caught in a small inconvenience, became frantic. A delay in his mail had him fuming, his breath quick and shallow. I spoke to him, tried to calm him, but the stress had already taken over. Beside him, John sat quietly, sipping his tea. "Let it go, Richard," he said, his voice soft. "Worry doesn't help. It only harms." John, calm and unshaken, had found his peace. Richard, though, remained tangled in his own thoughts. If you find yourself overwhelmed, my dear, I gently remind you, you can still find peace. You can learn to let go of the weight that burdens your heart. Take a deep breath. Pause for a moment, let the world fall away. Practice calmness, practice stillness. And find joy in the simple things. Stress is a thief, but you can lock the door and find your peace again. May you find stillness in the storm. For peace, my dear, is the foundation of all strength. Social connections, a lifeline to longevity. Our lives, my friend, are tied together by the threads of connection. The relationships we build, the bonds we share, they are the fabric of our well-being. I think of Eleanor and Barbara, both 78, yet their paths diverge when it comes to social life. Eleanor has always surrounded herself with people, with laughter, with love. Her friends, her family, she keeps them close. Barbara, however, has grown more distant over the years. Her friends drifted away, and though she has family, she rarely reaches out. I remember a time when Eleanor invited Barbara to her home for a small gathering. Eleanor's energy filled the room, and Barbara, hesitant at first, came in late. But when she stepped through the door, she was greeted with warmth, with joy. She smiled, slowly, and for the first time in a long while, I saw a light in her eyes. The walls that had built up around Barbara slowly began to crumble. It was not the food or the drink, it was the connection, the simple act of being together. That rekindled something inside her. My dear, I urge you to reach out. Call an old friend. Write a letter. Join a group, or sit with family. The loneliness you feel today does not have to last. Even small acts of connection and old friendship rekindled can bring new life into your days. You are not alone, no matter how far you've drifted. Reach out, and you will find that the world is waiting for you to come back. Remember, we are all threads in this great tapestry of life. And when we reach out, we create something far more beautiful than we could ever imagine. As we come to the end of our journey through the 7 signs, I ask you to pause for a moment. Look at your life, my friend. The way you walk, the strength of your grip, the steadiness of your balance, the restfulness of your sleep, the joy you find in food, these are reflections of the life you've lived. But they also show the life that's still unfolding before you. It's not just about what's happening now. It's about the choices you make today that will shape your tomorrow. Life will never be free of challenges, that much is certain. But it's not the hardships that define us. It's how we face them, how we care for ourselves, how we nurture the relationships that matter most. And so, I ask you, take action today. Take a walk, listen to the quiet signals your body is giving you. Nourish your soul with healthy food. Release the weight of stress that burdens your heart. Reach out to those you love. It's not just about living longer, it's about living well. Living with purpose, living with joy, and living with connection. When you embrace life fully, at any age, it becomes the most beautiful journey you could ever take. Remember, my dear friend, it's not the years that define us. It's how we live each one of them. How we cherish every moment, and how we choose to move forward. If you feel inspired by what you've heard today, I warmly invite you to subscribe to this channel. Come, join me on this journey, and let's make each day count together. For in the end, it's the love we give and the meaning we create that truly measures the time we have. Thank you for sharing this quiet moment with me. If this story touched something in you even just a little, I invite you to stay. Subscribe to this channel, not for noise, but for gentle reminders that life still holds beauty. For soft reflections, for healing words, and for a sense of peace you can return to whenever you need. This is Whisper of Age. And you are always welcome here.